Fact number 1. One of the most surprising facts about The Color Purple, 1985, is that Steven Spielberg, who was mostly known for blockbuster films like Jaws and E.T., directed this deeply emotional and serious drama. At the time, many critics and audiences doubted whether Spielberg could handle such a heavy, character-driven story focused on African-American women in the early 20th century American South. This was a huge shift from his usual style filled with adventure and fantasy. However, Spielberg took the challenge seriously and worked hard to stay respectful to the novel's themes. Interestingly, despite the film receiving 11 Academy Award nominations, Spielberg himself was not nominated for Best Director, which shocked many people. This made it one of the most nominated films in Oscar history without a win, creating a strange and controversial moment in Hollywood. Fact number 2. Another weird and fascinating fact is that Whoopi Goldberg, who played Celie, was actually discovered by Spielberg after he saw her one-woman stage performance. At that time, she was not a mainstream Hollywood star, but a struggling performer trying to make a name for herself. Her role in The Color Purple became her breakthrough in the film industry. What makes this even more interesting is that her performance was so powerful and raw that it earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress in her very first film role. Despite this, she didn't win, which added to the film's unusual Oscar history. Still, this role launched her into stardom and later made her one of the few entertainers to achieve EGOT status, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony, which is extremely rare. Fact number 3, the casting process for the film had some unexpected twists. Oprah Winfrey, who played Sophia, almost didn't get the role at all. In fact, she believed she had lost the part and went into a deep depression, even gaining weight due to stress. According to Oprah, she prayed intensely and then suddenly received a call confirming she got the role. Her performance turned out to be one of the most memorable in the film and earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. What's even more surprising is that this role helped launch Oprah's career into global fame, eventually leading her to become one of the most powerful media figures in the world. It's strange to think that one phone call changed the course of her entire life. Fact number 4. A truly strange and controversial fact is that despite being a critically acclaimed film with 11 Oscar nominations, The Color Purple did not win a single Academy Award. This made it one of the biggest losers in Oscar history, which shocked both fans and critics. Many believed the film deserved at least one win, especially for its performances and emotional depth. The situation sparked debates about bias in Hollywood and whether the film was unfairly overlooked. Over time, however, the movie gained even more respect and is now considered a classic. Its cultural impact grew far beyond awards, influencing future films and discussions about race, gender, and resilience. In a way, its lack of Oscar wins made its legacy even more mysterious and talked about, turning it into a legendary example of how awards don't always define greatness. Fact number 5. One lesser-known and quite strange fact about The Color Purple, 1985, is that the film was actually based on a novel written by Alice Walker, which itself was highly controversial at the time of its release. The book included themes of abuse, racism, and same-sex relationships, which were considered extremely bold and even shocking for mainstream audiences. When the film adaptation was announced, many people were concerned about how these sensitive topics would be portrayed on screen. Interestingly, the movie toned down some of the novel's more explicit elements, especially the romantic relationship between Celie and Shug Avery. This decision led to criticism from fans of the book, who felt that the emotional depth and authenticity were slightly reduced. Still, the film managed to capture the core message of survival and empowerment, even if it softened some of the more intense aspects. Fact number 6. A very unusual behind-the-scenes fact is that the film was shot in extremely tough conditions in rural areas of North Carolina. The cast and crew had to deal with intense heat, humidity, and even insects during filming, which made the experience physically exhausting. Whoopi Goldberg later revealed that some scenes were so emotionally draining that they felt almost too real, especially those involving abuse and suffering. The environment added to the authenticity of the film, but also made it one of the most challenging projects for many actors. Despite these difficulties, the cast formed a strong bond, almost like a family, which helped them deliver such powerful performances. This mix of real hardship and emotional storytelling gave the film a raw and unforgettable feel that still resonates with audiences today. Fact the Surfan. One shocking fact is that the film faced backlash from some African American communities after its release. While many praised its storytelling, others criticized it for portraying black men in a negative light, especially the character of Mr. Some believed that the film reinforced harmful stereotypes instead of challenging them. Even Spike Lee openly criticized the movie for its depiction of black relationships. This created a major debate in Hollywood and among audiences about representation and responsibility in filmmaking. Despite the controversy, the film continued to gain popularity and was appreciated globally. Over time, many viewers began to see it as a complex story about pain, growth, and redemption, rather than a one-sided portrayal. The controversy itself became part of the film's legacy, making it even more church-worthy and impactful. Fact number 8. A fascinating and emotional fact is that many of the actors in the film had very personal connections to their roles. Oprah Winfrey once shared that playing Sophia felt deeply personal because she saw parts of her own life and struggles reflected in the character. Similarly, Whoopi Goldberg described her role as Sally as spiritually transformative, saying it changed her understanding of strength and resilience. The emotional intensity of the story didn't just stay on screen, it deeply affected the cast as well. Some scenes were so powerful that actors would break down even after the cameras stopped rolling. This emotional connection is one of the reasons why the performances feel so real and unforgettable. It's not just acting. It's almost like the cast lived through the story, which is why the film continues to touch hearts decades later. Fact number 9. One truly interesting fact about The Color Purple 1985 is how much attention was given to its visual authenticity. Steven Spielberg wanted every detail, from costumes to locations, to reflect the early 1900s American South as accurately as possible. The production team studied old photographs, historical documents, and real-life environments to recreate that era. What's even more surprising is that many of the buildings and sets were specially constructed just for the film to match the time period perfectly. This dedication helped the audience feel completely immersed in Sally's world. The use of natural lighting and wide landscapes also gave the film a unique emotional tone, making it visually different from most Hollywood movies of that time. It wasn't just a story. It was a carefully crafted historical experience that made the film stand out even decades later. Fact number 10. A strange but powerful fact is that music played a huge emotional role in the film, even though it wasn't a traditional musical. The score was composed by Quincy Jones, who brought a deep, soulful sound that perfectly matched the film's emotional weight. Interestingly, Quincy Jones was also responsible for helping cast Whoopi Goldberg after seeing her perform. The music in the film doesn't just sit in the background. It almost acts like another character, guiding the audience through moments of pain, hope, and transformation. Some scenes would feel completely different without the score's emotional depth. This unique blend of storytelling and music made the film more impactful, even without big musical numbers. It's one of those subtle elements that many viewers don't notice at first, but plays a huge role in the film's lasting emotional effect. Fact 11. One shocking fact is how emotionally intense certain scenes were during filming. Whoopi Goldberg revealed in interviews that some of the abuse scenes were so real and disturbing that they left a lasting impact on her. She had to mentally prepare herself before performing, and even then, it was incredibly difficult to separate herself from the character of Sally. Oprah Winfrey also shared similar experiences, saying that the emotional weight of the story stayed with her long after filming ended. What makes this even more intense is that many of these scenes were shot multiple times, meaning the actors had to relive those painful emotions again and again. This level of emotional commitment is rare and is one of the reasons why the performances feel so raw and powerful. It wasn't just acting, it was an emotionally exhausting journey for the entire cast. Fact Nasalt 12. A fascinating and somewhat ironic fact is that The Color Purple later found massive success in a completely different form as a stage musical. Years after the film's release, it was adapted into a Broadway production, which brought the story to life with songs and live performances. The musical version became incredibly popular and even won multiple awards, something the original film, surprisingly, did not achieve at the Oscars. This shift from a serious drama film to a musical format showed how powerful and flexible the story really is. It also introduced the story to a whole new generation of audiences who may have never seen the movie. In a way, the story got a second life and even greater recognition over time. This proves that sometimes a story's true success isn't immediate. It grows stronger and more appreciated as years go by.